Your weight is not putting limits on you. Your circumstances are not putting limits on you. Your schedule is not putting limits on you. You are.
Welcome to Temples in Training, where we do all sorts of videos, DIYs, devotionals, fitness, all that kind of stuff. So today I'm actually going to be talking about my short-term fitness goals. So if you are interested in that, make sure you stick around. If not, I hope to catch you in another video. So if you have not seen our video of fitness, why it matters, I really encourage you to go ahead and click that video first. I think it just makes it easier to go on the journey together when you understand each other better. So again, if you haven't seen that, I encourage you to do so. And if you have already, great. And we're just going to jump into today. So in that video, we talked a lot about our long-term goals and kind of what we wanted at the end point. And today I'm just going to talk about my goals for the week, what my plan is as far as my meal plan, how much I'm expecting or hoping to lose, and stuff like that. So let's just jump right in. I know that one thing I had done and I really enjoyed doing is kind of breaking down my long-term goals, and especially as far as my weight goes. And one thing that I had done is gone to, look at the max amount of weight that I wanted to lose and going to a really far point, and then just kind of tracking backwards and finding out, okay, well, if I lose this amount this week, then it'll be this amount total this week, this amount total the next month. That kind of is really kind of neat because it shows you if you stick to this, if you go along with what you're supposed to be doing, if you meet your short-term goals, then you will gain your long-term goal. And at this point, you will have gotten this far or whatever. And it doesn't always have to be completely accurate. It's just really fun to go, okay, in 2 months, if I follow this, then I'll be 30 pounds down or whatever it is. So that's something I really enjoy doing. The only thing that kind of bummed me out recently, in the end, it actually encouraged me to kind of get back in it, was my journal, my calendar that I had written out, by this time I should be such and such pounds, by this time I should have lost such and such weight. And it was the second time this past time that I had to cross it out and change it because I hadn't gotten to that point, or nearly. Sorry, we've got my little Evelyn back there in her swing. Anyway, so yeah, just looking and going, I am so far from that goal, I can't even leave it. So I ended up having to cross it out again and resetting my goal. So that kind of was a eye-opener for me, going, come on, Christine, like, we were looking at her first birthday and me being under 100 pounds. And I don't like to use numbers too much because obviously that isn't my main concern as far as just being in Wonderland. But what that means to me is just as far as a health level, like the amount that I was able to do at that point, the amount of pain that I wasn't in, the certain things that my body has gone through with this extra weight. So I don't even think I've even gotten to my goals yet. So let me just stop talking and get to that. So anyway, that had brought me to the point of, my short-term goal is about 2.5 pounds a week. And so that's my number goal, is I would like to lose 2.5 pounds this week. The weigh-in's actually in a couple days. I have been very good with not getting on the scale beforehand, so hopefully I'll be pleasantly surprised. So yeah, so that's my weight goals. My other goals just kind of pertain to my meal plan and kind of what I'm doing as far as my diet, I guess you could say. And the very first thing is intermittent fasting. And I know you hear so much about it, and I just kind of ignored it while it was this big craze for the longest time. Everybody telling me to go ahead and try it. You know, it's so good for sleep and so many other things. And I was like, yeah. Well, let me tell you, I'm doing the intermittent fasting. So aside from, I guess, cheating on it, which would be my coffee in the morning, I have a cup of coffee when I wake up, and I do put cream and sugar in it. So that, I guess, doesn't really count. And I start my intermittent fasting between 10 and 11. So it just kind of, I'm not too strict with it because I'm strict within the 8 hours that you're supposed to be eating, and then the 16 hours fasting. But depending on, you know, if I'm having a really busy morning or whatever it is, it may be 10 that I decide to start my meal time, and then it might be 11. It doesn't really matter to me that much. But I will have a protein shake and just drinking lots and lots of water, which is another of my short-term goals, is just drinking water and keeping hydrated throughout the day. A gallon a day is my goal, and I think I've been doing pretty good so far. So there's that I have my shake, and then at lunchtime I have another shake, or I have like a small snack. Like, I've been really enjoying these egg rolls, and I know that's not the most healthy thing, but just a snack between 200 and 300 calories I will have along with a shake. And they don't always have to be the same time. Sometimes I like to spread it out just to keep myself more, you know, I guess satiated for a longer period of time. And then come dinner time, right at this point for this week, I'm not focused too much on dinner, just sticking within the calorie limits of whatever else I have for the day. So between kind of like 12 and 1600 calories for the entire day. So depending on what I had in the morning, I just try to stick to that calorie amount for my dinner. And I make sure that I am done eating 8 hours past whenever I had started. So I've been doing pretty good with that, just making sure you don't eat past that point. And eventually my goal will have a little bit more healthy meals involved for dinner. Right now I'm just trying to stick to focusing on the water intake and the calorie deficit and intermittent fasting. So as far as food goes, those are my goals. And I'm doing good so far. And lastly is keeping active. I haven't done too much intense exercise, but I did hop on the elliptical, which I want to add a little clip real here how that went.
All right, y'all. I know I've said this before, but someone's probably gonna just have to hit me upside the head before I actually like have it in there permanently. But I'm just like having a bittersweet moment. Unless the doctor tells you, do not get your heart rate up, or don't get on an elliptical, or don't do this, or whatever it is, but let's just stick with heart rate because there's so many different things you can choose to do. Unless you receive that news, your weight is not putting limits on you. Your circumstances are not putting limits on you. Your schedule is not putting limits on you. You are. You're setting the perimeter. You're setting the limits. You're telling yourself that you can't do it, and without even trying getting to that point. I don't know why, I've just been walking around, like you see, I've been doing better with my diet, my food, and we know that that's a high percentage of reason for your weight loss, but I've just been walking around thinking, you know, I'm too heavy. I can't let my heart, you know, get out of control. I can't raise my heart rate. I can't do this. So, you know, just the little things I do around the house, that's good enough for me for now. And once I lose more weight, that's when I'll be able to actually get on the elliptical that I have been, you know, praying for 4+ years, that I finally have, that has just, again, been sitting there. You know, I used to tell myself, once I get that elliptical, that's when I'll be on, I'll get better with my workout. Guess what? I had it, and again, I set myself more limits. You're the one who sets your own limits. So I got on that elliptical. I'm like, I'll just stand on it. Well, standing turned to actually using it, and 5 minutes turned to 10, 10 to 20, 25, and 30 minutes. I made it to 30 minutes without a problem, and I only honestly had to get off because my daughter needed me. So I'm just really, you know, pumped moving forward. Don't set limits for yourself, okay? Because those are gonna be way bigger than your actual physical limits.
So anyway, that was really cool. And I'm trying to just get, 30 minutes of movement in a day, whatever that may be. I'm sorry I'm rushing. Little girl here is ready to get out, so I'm just gonna close up real quick here, but those are just my goals. That's my weight loss goal of 2.5 pounds for the week, keeping hydrated and drinking a gallon of water a day, sticking to my intermittent fasting and my calorie deficit, and keeping active for at least 30 minutes, at least 3 times a week. So I think that covers it all, and I want to hear your goals. I want to hear how your journey's going, what kind of plans you have been incorporating in your day-to-day, and what your goals for this week are. So I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!